Mario once again with MIA Microflight, and in this video I'm going to be showing you what I did to my board here. This is a controller board for a 2 trees Sapphire Plus 5 version 3. My fan, you can see that this test fan that I have on the side here, the fan that's connected to the board here. Actually, there are two fans that are connected in parallel to the same port here, F1 for fan 1, that provide the air cooling to the part around the nozzle. Those fans went out, or the functioning of the fans went out. The fans are okay, and so I decided to I figure it was one of the MOSFETs, because I've done this before on some similar boards. Typically, you know, those little MOSFETs tend to go. So this video is about which one I replaced, and if you're doing something similar, at least you can have this video for reference. Your board may look a little bit different, but typically it's the MOSFETs. You know, if your fan is not working and you made sure that the fan is operational via a separate power supply. These are, by the way, 24 volt power supplies, but I'm running the board. The board can run between 12 and 24 volts. So I'm running this at 12 volts from my power supply, bench power supply here. I had to take out the board, basically tear down the bottom of the machine so that I can access the board, because on the 2 trees Sapphire Plus, you know, it's a good machine. It's a solid machine. Let me just add this in the middle of this discussion. It's a great machine, but you know, if you can. If you're able to do a little more work to that machine, it's a great platform. It ran fine, you know, the first a few shots right out of the box, and then I had to tweak it a little here and there throughout I think I've had it for a couple of years now, and you know, unfortunately sometimes these things happen and you just have to know what to look for. The fan MOSFET sits right, see if I can bring up my magnifying, my scope here. So let me just grab a wooden dowel here so I can point to the MOSFET. The MOSFET is that little chip right there. There are really two side by side. I believe this is also another maybe a PNP MOSFET. This is an NPN. Same thing here for the fan number 2. Fan number 2 is not, it doesn't work because the firmware is not set up for fan 2. So even if you plug this here, unless you modify the firmware, you know, to turn on that fan circuit, it's not going to work. And in my case, it doesn't work because it's just not programmed for operational fan 2. So that little MOSFET right there, and it's in line with this row here of resistors and LEDs, you'll notice the light for the fan 1 is lit up now. Before it wasn't lighting up, and it was very dim, so that also gave me an indication that there was something wrong with the MOSFET. If this light LED does not turn on or is very dim, it means that there must be some kind of problem here, possibly a short or open circuit in the MOSFET. So that's a little MOSFET that I replaced. It's labeled R0 or RO. You probably won't find too much information, you know, with that designation on some of these chips, but I had done this before, so I remember that it was a MOSFET in the 20 to 30 volt range, with a I believe it was anywhere from 2 to 5 amp current, max current draw. And so I ended up replacing this with a much better MOSFET, and I'll show you the MOSFET that I replaced it with. Is this MOSFET here. It's an N-channel MOSFET. This has a 20 volt 6 amp 2 watt specification. I got these from Mauser Electronics a while back to replace little chips on my ESCs, you know, for the quadcopters that I was doing before. Sometimes the ESCs goes, and it's because of the MOSFET. So if you're able to replace those MOSFETs with better rating MOSFETs, higher amperage, you know, you're better off doing it that way. And so I got a bunch of these. There's still, I think I still have like 5 of these left. So I replaced that MOSFET, and it's working just fine. You can see my fan. I plug it in here just to test it because this is all out of the printer. I have it set on my microscope here, and you can see it's that MOSFET that I just showed here. There's fan 1, the plug to fan 1. If we put this a little bit to the side, you can see the plug is already there, right here, for fan 1, and the MOSFET is working just fine. The LED is turned on. And so that's what I did here. And basically, if you run into this problem, you know, at least you'll have this reference. I mean, that's the reason why I do these videos, is just so that other people can, and myself too, can have this reference in case I have to come back and forget, and I say, oh, okay, you know, I remember doing this before. Let me look at my own video. Yeah, probably not, you know, because once you do this, you know, unless you start losing your memory, you know, you remember things, or at least I remember things still to this point in age. So anyway, just a little tip, and just a little fix for those that work on 3D printers and that may run into a situation you're not sure about that. But make sure you the good indication that fan circuit is not working is that LED will be off, or it'll be very, very dim. At that point, you know, you got to take out the board and replace the MOSFET, or just buy a new board. If you know, these boards are rather inexpensive these days. I think you can still get these boards. This is, by the way, the Robin Nano 3.1 by Maker Base, MKS Robin. And I had to, of course, take out the also the display here, the touch screen display, so that I can turn on my fan through here. Let me shut this off. That fan is off. I put it at 50%. It works at 50%. It's pulse width modulated. 100% full. So it's working fine. Mario once again. Stay tuned for more.